On today's Gardening English Bites, we visit a very special garden. It's a therapeutic garden, a garden that's designed for healing. It's a place where they grow food, but the garden is about much more than just food.
Every gardener has a different tale of how they discovered the wonders of gardening, and Carolyn LaGrange has a particularly inspiring story. This beautiful garden is in the hills east of Perth. It's only been here for a year, but already it's loaded with nutritious food. But it's much, much more than that.
I was diagnosed with cancer and the treatment left me feeling depressed and exhausted, and my mother moved in to look after me and she started to give me fresh herbs in most of my meals. Well, one morning I woke up and I decided I wanted to follow a garden pathway to wellness, and that's when I started my organic gardening.
That was 3 years ago, and things weren't looking good. But her mother Myrtle stayed positive and had a plan.
As a way of encouraging Carolyn's appetite, I used to chop a few herbs in the food, a few bits of parsley and mint, and I was growing a few out in the back garden pots. And then I found that after a little bit, Carolyn took an interest in the herbs, and she used to go out and pick a bit of lettuce and some herbs herself, and then she very quickly became a very avid gardener.
Over here I've planted some herbs in boxes. I've got them raised because I do have a sore back. I have to be very careful of my back. So for me, for harvesting, these are all at the right height and I can just come along and harvest. This is echinacea. It's regarded as a medicinal herb. It is very beneficial for the immune system. About 3 months after I started Garden Path for myself, I felt that I really wanted to share what I had learnt with others, and that's when I started to do workshops with the focus on individuals with cancer and to help them reconnect back to their environment and to their food. In our workshops, when we're working with people with illness and disabilities, we like to focus on plants that are beneficial, that will promote the health of their immune system, especially the high antioxidant plants. I like to encourage families to consider edible organic gardening by having children come along and seeing how interesting it is, worm farming, planting a few herbs in pots. Can you grab that? Some little beetles have eaten that, and that's okay. There's enough for them and enough for us. Even if people just have a courtyard or a balcony, just by growing a few herbs in pots, they can improve their own nutrition and their own well-being.
What's it taste like?
Like cow.
I'd seen in myself how beneficial it was that by nurturing plants, I nurtured myself, and the act of gardening is very, very therapeutic.
So the garden is in Perth, in Western Australia. It was started by Carolyn LaGrange. Let's hear more about it.
This beautiful garden is in the hills east of Perth. It's only been here for a year, but already it's loaded with nutritious food. But it's much, much more than that.
The garden's only been there for a year. It's loaded with nutritious food. Nutritious means healthy, good for you. It comes from the noun nutrition, meaning food. So there's healthy food in the garden, but that's not the only reason it's important. Listen to Carolyn talk about why she started the garden.
I was diagnosed with cancer and the treatment left me feeling depressed and exhausted, and my mother moved in to look after me and she started to give me fresh herbs in most of my meals. Well, one morning I woke up and I decided I wanted to follow a garden pathway to wellness, and that's when I started my organic gardening.
She woke up one morning and decided to follow a garden pathway to wellness. Wellness means health. It's the state of being cured or well. The opposite of wellness is illness or sickness. That's disease. She wanted to follow a garden pathway. A pathway is a way through something. It's usually used to talk about something we walk on. For example, a pathway through a garden. But here she means a pathway to wellness, a way or course through her illness. That's when she started her organic garden, a garden without any poisons or artificial chemicals. Now she helps other people learn about how gardens can help them to become well.
In our workshops, when we're working with people with illness and disabilities, we like to focus on plants that are beneficial, that will promote the health of their immune system, especially the high antioxidant plants.
She works with people with illness and disability. She focuses on plants that are beneficial or helpful for people's health. She says these plants will promote the health of people's immune system. Your immune system is the system in your body that protects you from disease and infection. Your immune system is helped by antioxidants. Antioxidants are natural chemicals that protect the fats in your body from decay. They're important for keeping cells healthy and protecting against cancer. Antioxidants are found in many vegetables and other plants, especially dark green leafy plants like spinach, and in yellow and orange plants like carrots. These are high antioxidant plants, plants that contain many antioxidants. Why does Carolyn enjoy running these workshops?
I like to encourage families to consider edible organic gardening by having children come along and seeing how interesting it is, worm farming, planting a few herbs in pots.
She likes to encourage families to consider edible organic gardening. Edible means able to be eaten. She wants people to grow food for eating, fruit, vegetables and herbs. She likes children to come along and see how interesting the gardening is. This will encourage them to eat healthy foods as well.
I'd seen in myself how beneficial it was that by nurturing plants, I nurtured myself, and the act of gardening is very, very therapeutic.
She had seen how beneficial it was. By nurturing plants, she nurtured herself. To nurture means to take care of, to feed and care for. She says the act of gardening is very therapeutic. Therapeutic means healing or curative. If something is therapeutic, it means it makes you feel better or more healthy when you do it. So as Carolyn was taking care of the plants and helping them to grow healthily, she was also taking care of herself and becoming healthy. And that's all for today's Garden on English Bites. You can watch the story again on our website and read the transcript as well.